David, WAEPA was founded way before the introduction of IT in general, and the rapid changes in your world are coming faster and faster. It's probably within WAEPA's business the most rapidly changing piece of what we do. And at the same time, founded in the 1940s. So we have this dichotomy coming at us all the time. So when you looked at us, what inspired you? What inspired you to come to WAEPA? And what are you most excited about?
So a colleague of mine brought the job position to me, and I took a look at it and I thought, wow, this is an organization that I fit to a T. Just it's rare, I think, for a person to see a job posting, and as you go down the line, wow, these things really fit me to a T. And so then that really got me interested. So I went to the WAEPA website and was just taking a look at the composition of the board of directors and the leadership teams, and I thought, wow, look at the diversity on this team. This is definitely a company or an organization I want to be a part of. But what really drove it home, Shane, was when you and I had our first conversation and you were sharing with me your vision and your plans for the future of WAEPA, and I thought now is the perfect time for this perfect organization for me to jump on board and really see where things go.
And given the importance of data privacy, how do you ensure that our data, our members' data, is just as secure as possible?
So one of the things that we do is we are constantly reevaluating our cybersecurity program. So we're taking a look at the policies that we have in place, the procedures that we have in place, ensuring that we have alignment with our cybersecurity framework, the NIST framework, going through that, just making sure that we are doing everything that we can to meet or exceed those guidelines, because protecting member data is priority number one for us.
AI is fascinating. You and I spent a lot of time talking about this, especially recently. It's really moving away from being a novelty to becoming part of business. Talk about the implications to WAEPA. How are we going to use it? How are we going to be smart about it? What is your thinking about AI?
Sure. So AI is a very important topic. It's something that's all the buzz right now, and it is something that we are taking a serious look at. However, we're not jumping in head first. We're taking a measured, governance first approach. We want to make sure that we put the right guardrails in place, the right policies, procedures, everything in place, that we're taking a smart approach. We are having some things on the horizon. We have a new contact center going in on our member services side, and in that contact center we will have a bit of AI that will help our member services team bubble up some knowledge-based articles and things to help better serve our members. And also I see applications for it later on down the road where we are delivering some AI to our internal users in the form of productivity improvements. So having meeting summarization or email summarizations, things like that. That's where we're going to start and what we have on paper for the next year or so.
What keeps you up at night?
I think, like most cybersecurity professionals, it's going to be a security incident such as a ransomware attack. That is something that's top of mind for most people. But what we're doing to stay ahead of that here at WAEPA is making sure that we have a robust cybersecurity program. We want to make sure that we are using the state-of-the-art tools, we're meeting exceeding cybersecurity frameworks, and that we're very proactive in preventing things like that. And we even go further. We've employed a 24/7 security monitoring company that is monitoring our systems just to make sure that if anything were to go bump in the night, that we're notified immediately and that the appropriate actions are taken to stay in front of all of that.
David, I know that you're working with member services, member billing services, the marketing team to improve the member experience when they interface with us. What excites you about that?
I think working with this wonderful leadership team, we're able to come together and really look at how do we want to improve these experiences for our member, put our heads together, even reach out to members and learn more about what they would like for us to experience, how they would like to experience the system, and taking that feedback and really building out a plan. And I think us working together, we can really build this world-class experience for our members and leapfrog where we are today to really just build an amazing experience for our members. And I find that very exciting to be here at this point at this company in this organization to take it to the next level.
So David, one of your roles, as you know, in dealing with me is walking me back off the cliff on cybersecurity. And I know that what we hear frequently is it's not a question of if, but when. However, I do know that you're working very hard on cybersecurity. So of all the different areas in the cybersecurity risk profile for us, what's the biggest one, and what are you doing about that? What are you and your team doing about that?
So, of course, as I mentioned, the biggest thing that is probably a concern is a ransomware attack, and that's what's on most organizations' minds. And the way we go about that is really preparation. We want to make sure that we are constantly reevaluating our programs, constantly doing things like penetration tests and tabletops, making sure that we're building a very strong business continuity and disaster recovery program. Of course, the hope is we don't want anything to happen, and we really hope it doesn't, and we cross our fingers every single night that nothing is going to happen. However, if it does, the measure of success will be how we recover from it, how we have taken the measures to protect and contain any damage, and really how we're working forward from there. And so the worst case scenario would be to have no plan or to have a bad plan, but as long as we're constantly working on it and constantly improving and making sure that those systems are in place and that the disaster recovery plan is tested and we know exactly where everything is if the day comes where we have to pull the trigger on execution of those plans.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to be here. Thank you.